wanted to answer some viewer questions because it's been way too long since I made that video, so I thought I would just answer a couple instantaneous questions. I don't forget about you. I have all your questions written down and I think about them. Look at these. I make little notes about them. A couple months ago, Nick Cave Jr. asked me who's my favorite author and can you find that book in Korea. My answer is my favorite author is Murakami Haruki. He's a Japanese author. And you can find his books in Korea. The foreign bookstore in Seoul is called What the Book, and they can order you pretty much anything you want. So highly recommend that store. Stephen Worldwide asked me what motivates me to study and practice Korean. So I'm making this video after 2 weeks in Canada where I didn't study any Korean, but I thought about Korean. Does that count? Doesn't count. Okay, well, I should say, when I'm in Korea, I really study hard. I study every day. I read something or look at something. The reason that I do it is just because I'm actually genuinely fascinated by it. I find it amazing to learn even one new word. Then I feel like my capacity to express myself is just like improved a little bit, you know, and then like there's one more thing that I could do. So I try to learn one little phrase or one word of vocabulary every day, which isn't really that much, but that's what I'm at right now. Although I just realized that in order to keep studying, I'm kind of at the point where I have to start learning Hanja, Chinese characters. So there's a new adventure for me to embark on, so I guess you guys will know as well as I do how that goes. Fitzgerald Him S.E. asked me what I usually do on my first lesson with new students. So, since I started a new class today, and I had a new group of students, I'm doing a winter camp for a month here, I will tell you what I did with them today. So, this isn't a particularly ingenious idea, but it's something that I did today and it worked. So, what I do is separate the students into pairs or groups of 3, depending on the number, and then ask them to talk to each other for a minute or so, or 2 minutes or whatever, prompting them with questions like, what city were you born in, what do you do in your spare time, what's your favorite book, or something like that. It could be totally opinion-based, or whatever you think, you know, what's your favorite food and why, or do you have a nickname, those kind of lend to be funnier questions. Once they're finished, what you can do is have one person introduce the other person that they talk to, so they think, this is Miwon, and she likes to eat pizza at night alone in the dark with cake afterwards. I don't know, just kidding. You know, whatever. Okay, so they introduce the other students. That way, every student in the class will be introduced by someone else, and then you can also give the student who was being described a chance to add something at the end. So do you want to add anything else about yourself? So that's just one activity, gets everyone talking. I've also done another activity where you bring a balloon into class, bounce the balloon. You have to keep the balloon in the air, and then as you're passing the balloon, you have to say something about yourself. A language you can speak, a nickname that you have, where you're from, and things like that. So you put a list on the board of things that students can say, so you pop the board as like soccer, Korean, E.T., whatever, you know. So that one also worked. Although some students don't really take it seriously since you have a balloon, it's kind of like they think it's juvenile, but I've done it before, and it worked, and they kind of laugh it off, so those are 2 ideas for you, so I hope this has been useful for you. I'm glad to kind of get back to the Q&A part of this, so I hope you guys had a great New Year's. You're probably wondering, where did I spend New Year's? I spent New Year's in New York.